Hi, I'm Ian Henschke and welcome to Stateline. First to a remarkable day for football in South Australia. The Williams name has been synonymous with Port Adelaide for more than half a century. But tonight, Marc Williams will coach the club for the last time. After a record number of consecutive losses and mounting media speculation, the club and Williams decided to part company, despite him having a contract that runs till the end of next year. Now, both deny he was sacked, but as Patrick Emmett reports, it was still a day of very mixed emotions.
I have to announce that I am leaving today because of illness and fatigue. The supporters have become sick and tired of me. That's humour.
When Marc Williams said goodbye, the fans saw a side of their coach rarely revealed in press conferences. There was humour and emotion as he spoke of the split in a marriage that many thought would never end.
It's been a wonderful opportunity to coach a wonderful club. And certainly a great honour. A lot of responsibility comes with a coach, to pass through these walls and try and, add to each player that you do.
Williams will forever be remembered as the coach who won the club's first AFL premiership, even though he caused furore by criticising club sponsor Alan Scott.
Just everything that could possibly have gone wrong has for Port Adelaide.
Just 3 years later, he coached them back to a grand final again. But this time it was a final to remember for all the wrong reasons.
It's the Cats!
Port was thrashed. It was history-making in its humiliation. Now 3 years on again, the club is sitting on the unlucky number 13th spot on the table after 7 straight losses. The poor performances sparked speculation about his future, and that was part of the reason for today's decision.
Look, day after day and week after week, if you see the press, obviously it was getting untenable for the club. So I spoke to Brent about it. In fact, you have to do the right thing by the club. I've been lucky enough to be here for 15 years.
It's Jenny and Steve. Can we come in, please? Thank you.
Nevertheless, when it came, the announcement was still a shock. Just yesterday, Williams said he intended to see out his 2-year contract, which was renewed at the beginning of this year. But a meeting with club president Brent Duncanson led to a change of heart, although both are at pains to point out it was a mutual agreement.
And if you keep asking the question about whether Marc was asked to stand down versus whether he stood down, Marc and I've been lucky enough and proud to have a relationship with Marc where we speak openly about lots of things in life, and we spoke openly yesterday. And I can't reiterate enough that Marc constantly puts every decision he makes in the best interest of this football club. And you can read into it what you like, but at the end of the day, Marc has put the best interest of this football club in front of himself.
As well as players and staff, Marc Williams' family and brother and sister watched on. It was as much the end of a dynasty as a coach, for the Williams clan has lived and breathed Port Adelaide. His father, the legendary coach Foss Williams, was the face of football at Port Adelaide in the 1950s and 60s. He created fiercely competitive teams with an equally fierce loyalty to him and the club. The young Marc Williams began playing senior footy for the Magpies when he was 17, and it seemed inevitable that he would one day carry on his father's legacy.
Can't even read that part, it's too hard.
And if the family were emotional, so too were the fans, although they were divided about whether today's decision was the correct one.
I'm shattered. I'm a Marc Williams fan, I always have been. And I know that after watching it on telly today that he's done the right thing that he thinks for the Port Adelaide Football Club and for the supporters, but I'm just very shattered.
Oh, I think his time had come. I just think he's lost his way and lost his general direction with the common Port Adelaide.
I just think he wasn't listening to the old Port Adelaide way of playing and just stayed in his ways and just wouldn't go off the line in any way.
I feel terribly upset because I don't believe it's Marc that's causing all the problems as a coach. I think it's the players themselves.
Very proud Port Adelaide supporters. We were there. Marc Williams has got nothing to prove. We're very proud and disappointed, and we're sorry to see him go.
He's been pushed into a corner, obviously, and that's the decision he's decided to make today, and it's very disappointing.
After tonight's game against Collingwood, the club will begin looking for another coach. Whether Williams has a future in the game remains to be seen. He's indicated he wants to continue coaching, but he will obviously need some time to regroup after today's decision.
This is always an important shot, so get it.